You alright guys, how's it going? It's David Clayton of KZR Racing once again, and welcome back to my F1 Manager 22 career mode for round number 4 of Season 2 for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, do feel free to check out my channel. The playlist will be there along with all the other episodes. For now though, we've got a little bit of admin to take care of before we get into the race. So we've got some development points here for Sebastian. I remember in the emails it said about cornering for Sebastian, so we'll update the cornering. Meanwhile, Gasly, everything is looking pretty good on his end. We'll go on defending, and that will take Gasly up to 85 actually, so that's not too bad. Nothing else as far as I can see. So emails. Oh, that's all right. The thing for Gasly was defending, so that's not too bad. So we updated that. Bob watched the race at the Albert Park circuit this weekend and wanted to congratulate you on exceeding our expectations. Yep. Spoiler alert for the last episode, we actually managed to secure not only our first double points finish, but also our first podium with Pierre Gasly, who managed to get third place at the end of the race after a really weird changeable condition race. That one there was, but we got the strategy called spot on, and that allowed Gasly to beat Lewis Hamilton of all people to the podium. So we had a very good race last race. That sees us third in the constructors championship at the moment. So what was the regulation change? There we go. Right. So the high speed downforce has been altered for the front wing, rear wing. Yes, a lot of it has been altered for high speed downforce. So when the research window opens, we'll get cracking on that for the high speed aero. Low speed, we're not too bad, so that's okay. So yeah, we voted for that along with Alfa Romeo, Haas, Williams, Alpine, Red Bull surprisingly, and McLaren, with Ferrari, Mercedes, and AlphaTauri against it. But we are quite low down on the high downforce things, so getting the research in as early as possible is definitely going to help make dividends for that. I still want to do bits and pieces for this year because I want to maintain where we want to maintain position in the constructors, and it's still quite a ways to go yet. So I will change priorities towards the end of the season in regards to what was it? Oh, it's gone out of my head. In regards to the engineers and whatnot, I'll have more of them working on this year's car while having one in the background doing the research for next year. But as we get later on in the season, I will change that to more for research as opposed to development. But we got some development points for Jack Doohan, who I am going to be putting in the car for this weekend, and I will do that over Sebastian this time. So we'll update his smoothness a little bit. So that's okay there. So yeah, at the moment, if we go to the car, so the research window has now opened, but I know for a fact we haven't got any. We've got no what's it's to spend until after Imola. So we'll work on that. We'll work on that when the time comes. So for now, we're going to skip through. Refurbishment on the boardroom is now complete. We have, and we're also on the practice. We're also on the weekend for the race as well. So that's the boardroom, and then the race preview. That's pretty much all standard. So we'll go through to the race prep, performance targets. Same as before, reach Q2. I think we're pretty confident in doing that now at least. So we'll go back, race targets, finish position of 40th or higher. Yep, that's pretty much all right. And our qualifying hot streak is not too bad either. We're on a 3 out of 5 hot streak, so that's pretty good for the moment. So we will head through into first practice for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix then. Okay, so first practice session. Friday is going to be heavy rain at some point, but it's going to be perfectly fine for the rest of the weekend. So what we will do is we will ask Sebastian this weekend for practice 1 to make way for Jack. It's a set we always simulate the practice 1, so it's easier to put him in this week. Put him in this way. So practice 1 completed. Not bad actually. Not bad. 6th for Gasly, 13th for Doohan. That's understandable. Doohan's always been around about 3/10 off, being a young driver who's still. They don't actually have it in this game, but I'm assuming that in between doing test sessions for us, he'll be in Formula 2 or Formula 3. I think he's in Formula 2 now this year, but in our manager career. But track acclimatisation is only 37 for Gasly. Pretty good self-confidence actually on Jack's end, so that's not too bad. Sebastian will be back in the car now, but let's have a look at what we're doing. So, oversteer's already in the optimal region. Great on traction. Cornering's good. Braking stability somehow is bad. I think that needs to be more max, but the straights as well need working on. So give me a moment to work this one out. Okay, we've got a bit more of a decent mix. I've gone a little bit more towards max traction because I need that ideally for such a fast circuit. Cornering's in the middle. Braking stability is more towards max, and I've managed to keep oversteer where it is. So that'll be an ideal first run to see how that goes for Sebastian. Same as before, we're going to do the hard tyre stint, but pace mode I'm just going to put him straight onto light because I don't want them to burn out the tyres too quickly. As for Gasly, yeah, that's a little bit more. That's a little bit more what I was expecting. 3 bads and 2 goods. So give me a minute to work this one out for Gasly. Right, we'll give this a try for Gasly. Traction's going to be a bit of a question mark in all honesty, but that's probably the ideal spot. Cornering's also going to be a bit tricky as well because he wants max cornering. So we'll have to see. But for now, we'll do the same for him. Hard tyres, 22 laps, and light on the pace mode. So we will skip through practice 2. We'll pause if anything. We'll pause and have a look if anything happens. But unless it does, I will see you at the end of practice 2, guys. Okay, so the times in this session don't represent much because we ended up having rain for a majority of this session. That's why both Sebastian and Pierre are up here on hard tyres. So we got them both up to around 80. 8% for Sebastian, 83 for Pierre, which is not too bad. We just need to fine-tune it for practice 3 and get their acclimatisation up. Fortunately, it's going to be dry from this point on, so we don't have to worry about that. So we'll do Sebastian first. Where are we looking at? So let's see what we can do here. Right, medium ground for Sebastian. We'll see how this one goes for his first run. Fortunately, we didn't use... oh no, the hard tyres the hard tyres we want to use have been locked out now. So not much we can do there. We will go to the mediums to start with. And then the usual 22 laps. Well, that'll be fine. And then Gasly is... Oh, we got 2 optimals. We just need to work out the fine details on braking stability and traction. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, a few minor alterations for Pierre. Not a lot to... not a lot we can do with 2 optimals in some of the weirder... on one of the weirder sets. Because he's got it on cornering and straights. It's trying to alter the traction and the braking stability without messing around too much with those two is difficult. So 22 laps for him. Same as before, guys. Anything happens, we'll pause and see what's gone on. But if not, we'll see you at the end of practice 3. Okay, pretty good session. Like I said, ignore the times at the top. That's not relevant to the actual pace. I just managed to get both Sebastian and Pierre out on soft tyres at the end just to give them one shot at a banger lap. Can only get up to 70% acclimatisation for Sebastian. And we couldn't fine-tune his setup the way we wanted to. So his highest one would be 80. But Pierre, we got to 94. So... that's we actually got that on the first run. That's why I was left him out on the mediums for as long as possible, just to max his track acclimatisation. But for now, qualifying, we're going to put Sebastian back on his highest confidence setup. And that's pretty much about it. I'm pretty confident in where the guys are going to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim Q1 because I'm confident both of them will get through there. Sebastian did not get through. Right, must remember not to do that again. Gasly got P8. Albon is got a penalty. Yeah, a little surprised by that with Sebastian. I'll have to remember not to do that in future. I thought both guys would be able to get through, but yeah, complacency on my part. We're not doing that again. So we're going to basically Pierre's just flying the flag at the moment, unfortunately. So we're going to get going to. Whoops, we want to go back because we'll put him on old set of tyres for his first run. And we'll see how he goes in Q2. Right, end of the second runs in Q2. I put Gasly onto a second set of scrub tyres that he used in Q1. I'm confident he can get through. Bottas has already crossed the line. Several other drivers have already crossed the line behind us. So I know Gasly at this point is going to be safe. Stroll crosses the line, doesn't improve. So Gasly is safe, and we've got an extra set of fresh tyres to use in Q3. The time wasn't irrelevant, but Gasly was high enough up the order that I knew he would be safe. So that works in our favour to hopefully get a reasonable time in Q3. So if we go through here, yep, as you can see, we've unlocked 2 sets of tyres. What I plan to do is I'm going to use another set of scrub ones for the first run, and then we've got at least we've got 1 fresh set for the race then, so that ain't too much of a problem. So let us skip through to the end of the final run in Q3 and see how Pierre gets on. Right, end of the second runs. We got Gasly on his fresh set of tyres going like crazy. He's up in both Sector 1 and Sector 2, unsurprisingly. This is a fresh set of tyres compared to a scrub set. So let's see what he can do as he goes towards the line. And Gasly will go up to... He only improves to P10. He only improves. He does improve by half a second, but he stays P10. That's a little disappointing compared to where he was qualifying earlier in the sessions. So, yeah, a little bit disappointed, guys. I'm not going to lie. After how well we were doing earlier in the weekend, but it is what it is. So let's go through and see what we can do. We'll do Sebastian first, as he's starting like way back. So, one stop seems to be the order of the day. So go medium hards. I'm going to do the safe option with Sebastian. So I want to, ideally want him to spend as little time on the hards as possible. So we'll go to lap 38. Or 39. 39 seems to be the fair. 29, sorry. 29. Don't know why I got 39 in my head. So it's going to be a fairly simple one stop for Sebastian, just to get him up the field. With Pierre, however, it's going to be a little bit different. So give me a minute to have a play around with some strategies, and I'll see what I can do. I can see what I can come up with. Right, I tried to have a play around with the idea for two-stop for Pierre, but I thought better of it, to be honest. It's not really worth it, especially on a quick circuit like this, where I know the ERS once again is going to play a big part. So we're going to have Pierre come in earlier than Sebastian. That'll be that's the safer option for him. And we will. It's been doing this a couple of times with Sebastian. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing in regards to his setup, considering I reverted it. But let us put as much fuel in as possible, because we want to have them pushing as hard as we can. Nope, we want to do this, and then we want to go driving options, fuel usage, get them on push out the gate. And we will do the same with Pierre. Do the same, push out the gate. And I will actually have them go on. I'll actually have Pierre go on deploy, because he's further up. I want to get him up a couple of positions. Sebastian we're going to play the long game with. So we'll do this. So the guys are all set up and ready to go. So let's go to the grid for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
The drivers there lined up on the grid under mostly sunny skies. And there we have Pierre Gasly. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalize on it? And for the second driver, it's Sebastian Vettel. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. The teams are ready to go. The crowd are on their feet.
There's the green flag at the back. 5 red lights to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And we are off. So Gasly, he's already gotten alongside Alonso. So we're going to leave him as it... Oh no, he's been forced out there, unfortunately. So back to neutral. As we go through Tamburello. And Gasly has dropped a little bit further back. Alonso's on the attack of one of the McLarens. So Gasly has a little look, but thinks a little better of it. I don't blame him, in all honesty. So we're going to go up the hill now as we follow them. Alonso has indeed got past Norris, but now Gasly's right on the back of Norris now. So we're going to stick with Gasly for the first few laps. They're both him and Vettel are on pushing. We got plenty of fuel for it. So now, Gasly, Norris goes defensive into the chicane. So now, we're going to follow Gasly. He's got Ocon with him for company. That's not too much of a... Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there. I was a little bit concerned for Gasly, Gasly going through there. So now, he's on overtake. Let's get him on attack. See if he can make the move. No, it doesn't seem that way, so let's go back to neutral. Don't want to make any bold decisions too early. So we'll stick with Gasly going through towards the hairpin that toes up. Meanwhile, Sebastian, just letting him do his thing behind Ricciardo. We're still all pretty close together, so Ricciardo won't drop too far away from the Alfa Romeo ahead. Even though went very defensive there, which was a little bit of a surprise. In regards to... Oh, there's a spread of tyres, actually. A few people have started on hards. That includes Norris ahead of us, and no wonder he's a little slower than expected. We've got Zhou and Strollers on mediums. We've got Magnussen, the two Hasses starting on the soft tyres. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed match in tyre choice. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Although it'd be actually quite nice to see the divergence in the strategies. So let's go overtaking the attack, see if Pierre can get close enough to make a move on Norris. Feints to the left, goes to the right. He's not quite got the legs. Not quite. So we're going to have to wait for DRS on the next lap. That shows the drag reduction is still not brilliant on our car. We need to work out a more slippery car at the moment. I'll have to have a look at... I'll have a look after this race because the aerodynamic test period opens again, or resets I should say. So I'll have a look at drag reduction, see where we are on that, and I also need to figure out the high speed and medium speed downforce as well, which is where we need to improve. That's we'll go I think that'll be more the wings than anything, or the underfloor. We'll have to have a look, but in the meantime, we're going to come on to start of lap 4. We'll have DRS this time. As we go into Ravazza. Go overtake mode now. And as soon as we come out the other side, go on to attack. Got plenty of fuel to burn, so we're not too shy of that. Norris has got no DRS.
Do everything you can, mate.
Gasly is still not pulling alongside Norris. Oh, this is going to be frustrating. Norris had no DRS then, I'm pretty sure. He may have done, but I didn't see his rear wing open. But, this is going to be... it's going to be a bit of a long-winded race. We've got yellow flags already. Vettel's gone through the hairpin. I haven't seen... oh, it's one of the Williams at the back. By the looks of it. Sonoda. Yeah, Williams trundling around on their own, and yeah, that was... he did run wide at the hairpin. He run wide on the exit of Villeneuve leading up to it. Nothing major, but that's dropped him and his teammate away from the rest of the field, so that's the Williams story at the moment. Meanwhile, we'll give one more go with Gasly on this lap. Russell is, he's in DRS range of Alonso, just. But now he's out of it, so through Ravazza. Overtake mode and attack. He's a little bit further back, but he has got the DRS. There's the rear wing open. I can't see Norris putting up too much of a fight this time. And there we go. There goes Gasly. Straight past Norris and into P9. So, hopefully... Norris, as Ocon also goes onto the attack of Norris, but Norris fends that one off. So hopefully if Gasly can pull a gap to Norris on his mediums to Norris's hards to just get away from him, pull himself back into range of Alonso, which he has done out of the hairpin. So that's good signs from Pierre. Doing a brilliant job so far at this stage of the race. Meanwhile, Vettel just holding on to the back of Ricciardo. Like I said, I am playing the long game with Sebastian. I'm not doing anything too extravagant with him. Meanwhile, we will follow Pierre out of Variante Alta, down the hill towards Ravazza. He's still in the threshold, so he's going to have DRS. I won't use ERS here on this lap. I just want him to get close enough, close back up to Alonso. I don't want to expend all the ERS in one go here, so we'll allow Gasly to. Oh, he's actually dropped away a little bit there, probably because he's not quite in Alonso's toe, whereas Alonso is chasing down Russell. So yeah, even in this game, like in the actual F122 game, the slipstream can be a little bit more powerful. But Gasly closes up a lot of that time in the braking. That's really good. Really shocking how good Pierre is on the braking there. So now Vettel still there with Ricciardo, and Ricciardo's still getting the DRS off Norris, unfortunately, so that's a little bit annoying. But we'll follow Pierre. We'll see what we can do here. As Alonso, I thought, for whatever reason, in that light, Alonso's car looked like a Mercedes then, so I thought he'd gotten past Russell, but not quite as it seems. So we'll get Pierre on overtake. Try and get him to close back up gradually to the Alpine. We have pulled a decent gap to Ocon behind, who's now overtaken Norris. So Ocon's now going to start closing back up to us as well. Hopefully we can get our own little mini DRS train going to close back up to Alonso. But everyone, from the looks of it, is being held up by Hamilton ahead. So all these guys are in line for third place at the moment. We'll just quickly go through the order. So Leclerc and Verstappen are in their own world. Verstappen just gluing himself to Leclerc's diffuser. And then our group, which is led by Hamilton, then Perez, Sainz, Bottas, Russell, Alonso, Gasly, and then eventually when he catches back up, Ocon, Norris, Zhou, Stroll, and then all these guys here are all together. So the race is actually quite close, despite everything, apart from the Williams, who are like way down in their own little world right now. So we got yellow flags in sector 3. Something's happened. Nothing in my field of vision from the. Oh, it's another lockup from Sonoda, as he's gone off into the weeds again. So Gasly can't. The slipstream is so powerful. Alonso just pulls out that little bit of a gap to us, and that just keeps him at. That's just keeping Gasly at arm's length. But then Gasly, under braking, it immediately gains 0.3 back in that hairpin. That's how good he is under braking at the moment. So we'll follow Gasly down here. I'm going to do try a little trick. So he goes through Acqua Minerale, then up the hill. We'll get him on overtake. Little burst of overtake there. Back to neutral. And through Variante Alta. Another burst of overtake. Little burst of overtake, then back to neutral again. So he's a little bit closer. He's half a second in range of Alonso. However, instead of overtake, we'll go deploy.
Use energy. Okay.
He's right close to Alonso this time, so we'll get him on attack and overtake. He's not quite there yet, so back to neutral, back to standard, but he is a lot closer to Alonso. He's actually part of this pack now. So the little play around with the ERS then worked. So now, with this Gasly a part of this train, Perez has now gotten ahead of Hamilton, so he's no doubt going to pull off into the distance soon. So it's just a case of where everyone else stands in the tyre wear. Perez actually got past on hard tyres, so I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised by that because that's how powerful the Red Bull's been this season so far. But Gasly still holding his own with this group here. As we come out of Variante Alto, he's going to be right. He's right on the back of Alonso now. So Alonso is slowly starting to drop back because of it. So let's do the thing. Get him on overtake and attack. So hopefully Alonso is still going to have DRS as well. But I'm hoping with Pierre. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, our straight line speed is still nowhere near where everyone else of these guys are because we focused on trying to get our downforce back. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave the guys as they are for the moment. Pierre's firmly under the back of Alonso now, so I'm content to leave him there. Norris has gotten back past Ocon, and Zhou's joined that party. So, yeah, for now, I'm going to leave the guys as are and come back later on, probably nearer the pit stops, and see how things go. Although saying that, Norris has started to drop right back because Gasly's all over him at this moment. Gasly's really making Alonso's life difficult, and it's actually causing him to drop away from Russell. So, but yeah, Alonso's already pulled that gap back now. So, yeah, I'll leave the guys to it, and we'll see how things go later on towards the pit stops. Right, we've just come into the pit window for Gasly, lap 25. He's going to be going a couple more laps. So far, I've had to put both him and Sebastian back on their balanced fuel because they were starting to run out of it. And unfortunately, Gasly has been slowly falling away from this pack, but not out of DRS range because every time we get to certain points of the track, he immediately closes back up, like at the hairpin. He immediately gets that 3/10 back just from under braking. So he hasn't dropped away to the point where he's suffering for it, but it's just a case of I don't want to burn off all the fuel lights straight away. If you understand my meaning. Meanwhile, Verstappen has pit. He's now dropped back down to here. He's on the hard tyres, so Leclerc won't be too far behind. Yellow flag in sector 3. Fortunately, it's not Gasly, and it's Zhou who's locked up. He was in that. He was in the fight with Norris and Ocon, right in the middle of the two of them. And straight on at Variante Alta, fortunately he missed Norris, but that has allowed his teammate and Verstappen to close right up. So, and now, Alonso's come in now, so everyone else is coming in for their stops. So that promotes Gasly up to 5th at the moment, 2 seconds behind Sainz. I am keeping Gasly out for a couple of laps longer because the tyres are still good for it, so we might as well go for it. And plus we have better hard tyres towards at the end. But also I'm taking into account the safety car as well could make an appearance. So fortunately both Pierre's got one set of soft tyres spare. Sebastian's got a whole load of them, so fresh set of soft tyres at the end can make the difference. Meanwhile, Gasly is actually closing up to Sainz, but then again, Sainz is on the hard tyres, and he's been pulled along by Russell at this point. So 2 laps until Pierre comes in, and then Sebastian will be the lap after that. And everyone will be on their tyres towards the end. Speaking of which, what did the Haas's go on to? Oh, they've gone on to mediums. So they're fully committed to the 2-stop, which personally I think is a mistake in all honesty. Leclerc has now pit. We've just gone past him there. So we'll be in the next lap. Leclerc, in the meantime, has come out ahead of Verstappen. Oh, ahead of Verstappen, but Verstappen's gone down the inside of him. Leclerc was a little bit on the grass there. So I'm not too sure if Verstappen forced him out. And oh no, it's just got worse for Leclerc. He's fully flustered. He's gone wide and then immediately lost the place to one of the AlphaTauris, which is just going to give Verstappen even more of a buffer. But Leclerc not letting that go as he goes back down the inside, down the hill, and he's now fully ahead. But yeah, that was, Leclerc got a little bit flustered there, and he's dropped out of DRS range as a result. So Verstappen, no doubt, is going to walk away with this one. And then Ocon and Norris are still glued together. Norris is still going to continue on. He's on hard tyres. There's no reason for him not to. Gasly, I'd imagine, Ocon, sorry, I'd imagine is in this lap. Whereas Gasly, as he crosses the line, there we go. And we will now stick him onto a set of hard tyres to the end.
Box.
So we'll go on a set of hard tyres to the end. There's another car's run wide in sector 2. Probably come up with who that is in a second.
I think we've had a car run wide.
And it is Hulkenberg who's run wide. Albon's now pit. So yeah, a little bit of a mix-up. Carlos Sainz has gotten ahead of Russell. I think he's going to stick it out for one more lap. He's only on 49% wear. Ocon may actually as well. He's on 51% because I've had my guys pushing a little bit harder than most. Meanwhile, Sebastian has dropped away from Ricciardo, unfortunately. So that's a sign that the hard tyres are wearing out. So where's Gasly? That was still a little bit too close for my liking.
Copy.
Right. Gasly's now pulled into the pits. Russell and Ocon are also in. Vettel's dropped back a little bit. Vettel's going to lose ground no matter what he does, but I feel if I get Vettel onto his hard tyres a lot sooner, that'll probably be a bit better for him. So we'll do that. We're going to bring him in this lap as well. As Gasly comes in. It's going to have to be a quick turnaround from the guys. In comes Gasly. There we go. And now here comes Vettel. Yeah, brilliant turnaround from the guys, that. Really good from them. So now, Alonso's going to get back ahead of us. And Bottas, I don't think has stopped. No, he has stopped. So Bottas has actually gained on us. No, Bottas has actually dropped back. Sorry, Bottas was up the front of the third place pack. So Bottas has lost out massively there, but we've lost time on all these guys. Unfortunately, we're like 2 seconds behind them. So we're going to have to wait and see where everyone else comes in, which is Stroll, Ricciardo, Zhou, Norris and Sainz. And Perez as well. But they're going to be probably going to about lap 35, I would think that is. Lap 35, 55, 28. Yeah, lap 35 is when they'll probably be in for the medium tyres, most likely. Verstappen's already gotten past Norris, unsurprising there. But Norris, is he going to come back at him? He thought about it for a second there. It's a bit of a tricky straight that isn't straight, but Norris still has a look anyway. But Verstappen firmly slams that door shut. Leclerc's just sitting back watching this. And then you've got Zhou, Ricciardo, Stroll here. Hamilton in his own little world. There's another yellow flag in sector 3. As we go back to Gasly in P13. There's another lock-up from one of the Hasses. So we're unfortunately, we're 2.7 now behind these guys who are now in a train with Russell, who's just going to pull them along. So this may be it as far as Gasly's challenge for higher points is concerned, but you never know with a safety car. If we get a safety car, like later on, I don't know whether anyone else will like pull into the pits or whatnot, but I may chance it with one of the guys just to get them back up the field. Meanwhile, Sebastian Vettel is already hounding the back of Alexander Albon, so we're going to stick with Sebastian, get him up an additional place. So we're going to go down the hill. We're going to go push on the fuel, overtake, and then as he comes out the corner, we'll go on attack. Albon's pulled a little bit of a gap, but Sebastian's going to get the DRS. There it is. Rear wing opens. Is he going to go down the inside? Not quite. Albon's just going to shut the door on him.
Drop back a bit.
That's annoying. Sebastian again has a look. Put him on a sack out the... see if make him have to go into the hairpin. Nope. But he's on the back of Albon, which was a lot closer than what he was before. And Albon has already stopped, so they are legitimately together on track. Albon was ahead of Sebastian anyway, so Sebastian's actually gained quite a bit on these guys. So we'll stick with Sebastian because I want him to make his move on Albon. I've left him on push the whole time to keep him within range. So he'll be a lot close. He's definitely a lot closer this lap, so it should be a bit more of a slam dunk this time. As we come out of Ravazza, onto overtake, onto attack. He's definitely closer. So there we go. Sebastian pulls out. Does he get alongside? He does. Back to standard. We'll leave him on overtake all the way up to the corner, and he is up into P15 ahead of Alexander Albon. Still can't get rid of Albon though. Somehow, some way, we still find him. We'll have a look at the replay of the overtake. Pretty much straight DRS overtake from Sebastian. So I'm actually going to put him back on balance. That'll probably be so he doesn't end up short on fuel. But yeah, like I said, no matter what, doesn't matter. Albon's at a new team, and we still somehow end up with him. He's just that rash that won't go away no matter what you do. Gasly, meanwhile, pretty much resigned to he's not catching these guys unless a safety car comes out, because yeah, Bottas, Alonso's already got past Russell, and they're closing on Hamilton slowly but surely. And then you got Stroll, Ricciardo, Zhou. They're still yet to come in though, along with Sainz and Perez. Verstappen is catching Sainz though, so that's how fast he is. And then Vettel down the straight. He's probably going to get overtaken by Albon. Maybe, I don't know. Nope, he actually defends really well there. So, boring mid-stage of the race, guys. I'm going to cut away until all the other drivers have their pit stops. And we'll see how things progress. Right, Vettel's re-overtaken Albon again. Those two have been back and forth. There was a crash on track somewhere. And it's Verstappen. Oh! Verstappen chasing down his teammate for the lead. He's already caught up to the back of him, but there's the lock-up straight on and into the wall. Verstappen's first mistake of the season. And that's definitely going to hand the win to either Leclerc, Perez or Sainz. Most likely Leclerc, because Leclerc's already made his stop.
Really?
Verstappen has lost his front wing and is saying he's on sauce for some reason. I've noticed this. I know full well Verstappen pitted onto hard tyres, but every time they crash out, the game glitches him onto a different tyre. I don't know if anyone else has had this, any creators who've had this. I'll have to ask them about it, but he was definitely on the hard tyres. I know for a fact he pitted onto the hard tyres and it's glitched him onto the soft tyres. But now, Perez, Sainz, Norris, Ricciardo, Zhou and Stroll are all getting to below that 40% tyre wear. So they have to come in soon. There's no ifs, ands, whys or buts about that. They're going to be overwhelmed at the back of the grid, even if they go onto the hard tyres, the soft tyres, which is what I'm assuming they're trying to do. But they're going to be behind pretty much everyone. They're going to be back down near Vettel and Albon area, which is exactly where Verstappen's come out, as Vettel's gotten back ahead of Albon. And Verstappen has come out right in between those two, which is probably not exactly where he would like to be. As Verstappen is now hunting down his Red Bull predecessor. So now, Gasly is now up into P12. He's gained a little bit. He did drop to 4 seconds, but now he's up to 3 seconds. He's now down to 3 seconds now because all these guys are caught up behind Guan Yu Zhou. Look at the queue as it comes past that Zhou is leading. Zhou is leading the train of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, and that's just allowing Gasly to get closer and closer. So I did say if something happened, that's the only way Gasly would be back into it, and he's getting back into it. And Verstappen has wasted no time getting past Vettel. He's done it at the chicane. Variante Alto, but that is going to give Vettel the DRS on Verstappen, which is going to protect him from Albon at least, which is much appreciated. Thank you very much, Max Verstappen. Vettel wisely not looking for a move on Verstappen. There's no need to. Verstappen will pull away eventually. Faster car on the soft tyres. That's pretty much that story there. Gasly's dropped away a little bit again, but at the moment, all these guys are going to be stuck behind Zhou. They've got to come in soon. There's no way they wouldn't be coming in. They've already caught back up to Ricciardo, so that's how slow Ricciardo is. Norris is only a little ways up the road. Sainz is here. Perez has still not come in. They're really trying this one stop onto the soft tyres. So now, Norris, is he going to come in? Nope, he stays out. So that means all these guys are going to stay out as well. Hamilton's now gotten past Stroll, so he's nearing the front of this queue now. And all the hard tyre runners who started are still not coming in. This is going to lead to a big accident at some point. There's a yellow flag in sector 1, where all these guys are... as Hulkenberg again running wide. But yeah, it's it's getting really weird. Gasly's now closed up to 2.1 behind these guys. As Albon's got past Vettel again, I've just noticed on the radio message.
Position gained for Alfa.
But it's getting 1.5 now, so Gasly's starting to reel them back in. Let's get Gasly on push. Push on the fuel to try and get him a little bit closer. He's 1.3, so he's slowly getting back into the. He's slowly catching back up to that group. So that means everyone ahead that was behind, barring Sebastian, not Sebastian, Sainz and Perez, they're all going to drop behind us. Norris, they've all stayed out. They've stayed out for another lap. So this is going to be what, lap 46? They have to come in at this lap. They have to. They're just losing so much time. As you can see, we've now caught up to this queue. We are now with them. So now, Gasly's legitimately in position here to fight for some more points this time. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars here that are going to drop behind. So that's going to bring Gasly up to 1, 2, 3. That's going to bring him up to 8th place when all these guys pit in, as Hamilton has finally broken free from Ricciardo. And he's now going to go and hunt down Norris, who's 5 seconds up the road. Norris is actually quite a ways up the road. Oh, that's going to be a bit touch and go with him. Meanwhile, we've got Vettel is still duking it out with Albon, unfortunately. Yes, a little bit of a reality check after last race. We did outperform ourselves last race. Not going to lie there, guys. So let's go on to Gasly as he goes. Let's go full deploy and attack on the tyres. Actually, no, let's not do attack on the tyres. We're not that much closer. So back to neutral. Yeah, one big DRS train. No one's getting any moves on anyone else. Bottas has dropped a little bit away from Russell, who's now hounding Alonso. These two are renewing their battle from before. So now, just want to focus on Perez here as he comes out of Variante Alta. Vettel re-overtakes Albon again. Perez is now on 38% tyre rate. He has to come in this lap. He's just losing. They're just losing so much time here. And there it is. He's finally in. So Perez is in. Sainz is in. Norris will be in. So this is going to be the point in the race. Gasly is on the back of this train. Sainz is in. We're just going to wait for Norris to come in now. There it is. Norris is in. As we come out of Ravazza onto overtake. We're closer to Bottas, so let's go for it with Gasly. Try and get alongside him. Not quite. So annoying. Gasly's up to P9. He's going for it. He's going for it. Attack, attack, attack. Go for it, Gasly. He's side by side with Bottas out of Tamburello, but oh no, it's not. Oh. Yeah, he just didn't have the pace for it. Ricciardo has stayed out, as has Stroll. So we're going to get 2 more positions off those guys. Vettel's now up to P13, but he's not going to catch Verstappen and Sainz, who are ahead of him. Oh, that was so close. We were so close there to getting Bottas. But now, it's just Stroll and Ricciardo who are ahead of us. They're definitely coming in because their teammates have already pitted. So it's going to be P7 for Gasly, where he is. Verstappen's already on the back of Ocon. That's how much pace he had in the tank. And we're not far up the road from them. So here we go again. I don't think... no, he's not close enough, but... And Ricciardo and Stroll have still not come in. They've stayed out another lap. There's no point to it. There's no point to it. I don't understand why they would do it. It's Gasly. He's alongside Bottas. Come on, Gasly. Come on. Get him on the ERS. Attack on the tyres. Back to standard. He's still side by side with Bottas. Attack down the hairpin. Attack down the hairpin. He's down the inside. He's still on overtake. Come on. And he's ahead. We've got him ahead of Bottas. Yes. So that's going to be P6 on the road when those guys come back into the pits. Gasly again doing a brilliant job.
This is good.
Gasly again doing a brilliant job there. He's got ahead of Bottas. Bottas lost out massively there. Now it all comes down to whether Ocon can hold off Verstappen. Doesn't look like it. Gasly thought about having to move on the inside of Russell there. We're not going to do anything too fancy with the ERS because Russell has pulled out a little bit of a gap there. So we're just going to go on aggressive. And finally, Ricciardo and Stroll have come in.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's now allowed everyone else through. Gasly is now up to P6. But there is still a very, very quick Verstappen and Sainz behind. Verstappen has really cooked his tyres, though, in the process. So it's going to be touch and go whether that lasts or not. Albon, in the meantime, has got back ahead of Sebastian. But I've deliberately been conserving fuel with Verstappen for these last few laps. So when it comes to the end of Sebastian's next lap, we'll stick him on push on the fuel and get him to pull away from things. Sector 3, there's a yellow flag. Someone's gone off somewhere. I can't see who it is. It's only a car that's run wide according to my... It's Hulkenberg again. Hulkenberg Haas have actually... this is actually a good advertisement for Haas if they're thinking signing for Hulkenberg in real life. Don't do it. Just don't do it, because this is what's most likely going to happen. But in the meantime, Gasly has still in within the DRS range of the Mercedes, so we're being pulled along nicely as Verstappen has cleared Ocon. I just saw it in the background, and Sainz is not going to be too far behind that. Meanwhile, we'll get to Sebastian on push. He's alongside Albon.
Copy.
So that's half the job taken care of. Meanwhile,
That's it.
let's have a look at Gasly. All four of these guys are now bunched up. Alonso, Russell, Gasly and Bottas. And Verstappen has already closed up in the background as well. So now, Sainz is still struggling to get past Ocon. It looks like he may do it up the hill. Not quite. Ocon really covers off the inside there. He wasn't having any of that. But Verstappen's now on the back of Bottas. But he has really, really burned through his tyres in order to get to this position. So, again, touch and go whether he's actually going to be in a position or not to do anything. Meanwhile, Gasly glued to the back of Russell's gearbox. You can pretty much read the part number on the diffuser and the rear wing as well. So let's see what we can do. He's right as close as he can be. He's fallen away a little bit. I'm going to have to go back to neutral because, wow, he used up a ton of ERS there. But he's gotten alongside Russell anyway. Go for it, Gasly. Go for it, go for it, go for it. We'll put him on attack. No, Russell defends himself by going for the move on Alonso and gets it. Mega aggressive driving there from Russell to protect himself. But, yeah, it went from us making a move on Russell to Russell not only defending but making a move on Alonso at the same time. As Albon once again gets back ahead of Vettel. So now I'm going to have to be a little bit more wary with Gasly now because he's getting into that threshold where he's not going to have enough fuel. And he's also down on ERS as well. So he may be losing a couple of places here. Sainz has cleared Ocon and is now on the back of Verstappen again. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more cautious about this. I may have to let Gasly settle into where he is. So don't really want to be pushing too hard here and have him drain the VRS before he gets to the end. So I'm just going to have him follow Alonso and Russell. Oh, Alonso left the door open a little bit there while looking for a move on Russell. Meanwhile, Vettel has gotten back ahead of
Aston Martin with a great play.
Albon. Almost struggled to get the words out there. We're going to put Sebastian on the ploy because I really want to try and get him away from. Albon. Deploy up the hill. Get him down half a second. Away from Albon. Albon, is he going to catch up with the braking zone? Don't know. Doesn't look like it. Little burst to get him away. And burst again out of Alta, just to get him away. And then deploy through here.
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
Just to try and get him away from Albon, just to build up a little bit of distance. Just want to try and get that distance. Meanwhile, Gasly, I've just cut back to Gasly. He's down the inside of Alonso. Is Alonso going to turn in on him? He is, but I've got Gasly on attack. Go for it, Pierre. Go for it. Down. Dive it. He does. He dives it down the inside of Alonso. And he's gotten up into P5. This is great stuff from Gasly. He's now into P5. He's directly behind George. I'm quite happy to just leave him there, actually. Meanwhile, yep, as we can see there, Gasly overtakes Alonso into Tosa. Meanwhile, Vettel hasn't been able to get away from Albon as much as I would have liked him to. But Gasly, I'm going to have to start playing this a little bit more clever now because he's really starting to get low on fuel now. So while he's in the DRS... of Russell, I'm going to cut back on the fuel. That's not going to stop him from going for the move anyway. Pierre Gasly has now got up into 4th place of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. What is going on with Gasly? This is all Gasly. This has nothing to do with the car. Gasly is just out driving this thing. To be doing what he's doing... He wasn't anywhere near this group and he was dropping back. But when they got caught up behind all those guys that just refused to pit for the tyres, he closed back up and he's literally just picked them all off one at a time while they've all just sat there just twiddling their thumbs. Everyone has gotten held up behind that Williams back marker. But now... as we come out of Alta, we're going to put Gasly back onto push. This is going to be touch and go with Russell. We have pulled out quite a bit of a gap thanks to that, Williams, so we've got a little bit of breathing room. But I'm going to go on to aggressive. It may be a bit of a futile effort because Russell is really close to us. So we go on aggressive and, yep, there he goes, unfortunately. Not much I can do about that. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Russell had the legs on us with DRS. But it was a brief run in 4th place, but it was a good run nonetheless. Meanwhile, back in Vettel's world, he's now been caught by Norris, who is on the soft tyres. He's been overtaken by Albon yet again. It's just a little bit frustrating, that. Meanwhile, back to Gasly. Doing a bit of an Ocon there on Ocon's teammate. not allowing him through. We're still within the DRS range of Russell's, so same as before. We've only got a few laps left to go, but Bottas is still holding off the Red Bull and the Ferrari, which is making our job a little bit easier. As we come out of this corner, we're going to have the DRS off of Russell. We'll go back to balanced to save the fuel.
7 laps to go.
We're still going to close in on Russell regardless, so it's not too much of an issue. But he's down to 0.2 on the fuel, so I may have to leave him. Gasly on balanced a little bit longer than I would like to. But it's going to be touch and go. Albon's dropped back massively there. He got overtaken by both Vettel and Norris, so Vettel pulled Norris with him, and that's given Vettel a little bit of breathing room between himself and Albon. We'll take that. We'll definitely take that. Gasly, in the meantime, still within the DRS of Russell. So this is going to be... I may just leave Pierre on balance for the next few laps. See if he see how well he sticks with Russell, and then do what we did. Do what we did in Australia. Leave it until the last lap and then go for it. That's probably my best opportunity, in all honesty. Meanwhile, Vettel, there's the inevitable move from Lando down the inside. Vettel's still fighting it though. Credit to Sebastian. So let's get him on overtake, because he should have the DRS now. He should, being the operative word. There it is. So get him on to overtake. And predictably, he's not going to go for the move. He's just going to allow himself to be caught by Albon again. Meanwhile, Gasly, Alonso thought about the move into Villeneuve. But Gasly holds steady. Just holding on as best we can to the back of Russell. Just getting that fuel back. Meanwhile, Vettel is just going to stay with... hopefully he can stay with Norris for this lap. Just want Gasly, as we go back to Gasly, we just want him to stick with Russell as best he can. He's going to have the DRS, which is going to pull him along, and we're just saving fuel all the while doing so. So now, as I just saw in the background there, Verstappen had another little look at Bottas. Bottas is still holding on. But here comes the inevitable move. No. Verstappen can't get the move done on Bottas. And is no doubt getting very, very angry, staring at the back of this Alfa Romeo, which is just backing him into the Ferrari of Sainz. Ocon has now closed on to this. Verstappen, Norris, meanwhile, still holding off Vettel. And Albon is there in the background as well. This is all just for the fringes of the points, but this is just racing driver pride right now between these three. Meanwhile, Gasly still holding on. Tyres are getting a little bit warm, says Sebastian. Push through it, Seb. We're just holding off with Gasly right now. We're going to do... just going to stick with Russell until the end of lap 62. And then we will make the move. We will make the move down. We will make the move on this straight here. It's the only DRS zone.
4 laps to go.
4 laps to go. We're on lap 60 now. Gasly, again, he'll close right up, but I don't want him to make any moves yet. We'll just leave him to chase down oh no, Verstappen. Verstappen's race has compounded yet again because his soft tyres cannot go the distance. He's pitted again for another set of softs. So now, this is now for one singular point in the championship. So we're going to do the same with Vettel. Get him on balance. And like Gasly ahead of him, we're basically just going to sit here and use Norris to pull along while we save some fuel. And then we're going to go for it right at the end. Providing Sebastian can actually stay with Norris. Norris's tyres are a little bit worse for wear than Sebastian's. So, Sebastian's dropping back quite a way. I may have to actually put him back on push. He's not quite got the legs on him for that one. But Gasly comes off the DRS. He has a look. Still having a look. Gasly is just letting Russell know he's still there. Having a little move down the inside of Tamburello. But in the meantime, he's still there. Vettel, meanwhile, he's just pulled himself back into a reasonable range. But it's going to be touch and go on the fuel with Sebastian. Because I'm having to push as hard as I can just to stay within range of Norris. But Norris's tyres should be going off soon. If we look at the tyre wear. Yeah, Norris is on 40, already dropped down to 46% on the tyres. So it's going to be touch and go whether his tyres last or not. But here we are. The moment of truth. Push with Gasly. As he comes round here. Overtake. Attack. This may be a lap too early, but I'm going for it. Here goes Pierre Gasly. Down the inside of Russell and back into P4. We're going to get him on to neutral and then harvest through here. Neutral again.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Gasly's got a decent gap there between himself and Russell. We're using fuel like nobody's business. But I believe the lap earlier, now was the time to do it. As we go down the hill, we're going to go into harvest the ERS. Through the thing. Leclerc has now started his last lap. Onto neutral for Gasly. Leclerc started the last lap. There was a lock at... No! Oh no, Pierre, no! Oh no, he was doing so well up until that point too. And he's dropped back down to P. Oh, I'm so frustrated. We were doing so well and then Pierre just went and locked up.
The brakes are really poor.
Oh, I'm so angry. He's not going to get this move done. Oh, no. I'm so angry. Pierre, why? Vettel couldn't do anything. He's marginal on fuel. Let's just dump all the ERS.
So Sebastian, we are all okay on fuel. All okay on fuel. So you can do what you want for speed.
Oh, it was so solid for a fourth place
Can use any.
for Gasly, and now... I cannot believe that's happened. We'll go attack with Sebastian to the end, see if we can do anything. Charles Leclerc wins the race. Charles Leclerc takes the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. First win of the season for the Tifosi, packing out the grandstands. Vettel hounding and hounding Russell. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Let's get... screw it, let's just dump everything we can, see if we can do anything with Gasly. It's not going to happen. Russell 4th, Alonso 5th, Sainz 6th. So frustrating. And Sebastian, close, couldn't quite get Norris for the final point. That's, yeah. Oh, the frustration. We had P4 there. We had it, and then Gasly locked up right at the worst possible moment. Oh, he had the gap. I wasn't even pushing him that hard as well. That's the annoying part of this whole scenario. I wasn't even pushing him that hard. Oh, we still beat the main rivals that we're facing in the championship, but what could have been? But there it is. Leclerc wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, first win of the season. Perez and Hamilton round out the podium, and then it should have been Gasly. Should have been Gasly there. He did so well, and then he locked up at the last point in time. So frustrating. But it's Russell. Caught my breath there, sorry. So frustrating. Russell P4, Alonso, Sainz, Bottas, Gasly, Ocon, and Norris rounds out the podium, just ahead of Vettel. Could have had a point there for Vettel, but we just didn't have. We were too marginal on fuel at the end, unfortunately. And then Albon, Zhou, Ricciardo, Norris, Verstappen with the fastest lap, but he ruined his own race there. And then the Hasses and the Williams at the back. As we go to the Drivers' Championship, Perez gains on Verstappen, because Verstappen didn't score any points. With Leclerc in third, he gains on both of them as well. Sainz still nowhere at the moment in P4, 31 points. And then Hamilton moves ahead of Gasly by 1 point. And then Russell, Bottas, Alonso and Norris round out the top 10 in the driver's standings. As we go to the constructors, Mercedes predictably do move back ahead, as does Alpine, unfortunately, because of Alonso finishing ahead of Gasly, which... Oh, that's so salty. That's so salty for me, guys. I can't tell you how angry I am with that. We've now dropped to P5. Alfa Romeo, McLaren, and then AlphaTauri, Haas, and Williams round out the constructors. So close, so close. But that's racing, unfortunately. As angry as I want to be, that's just racing. Gasly still got points, though. He didn't crash out, and he's still got points, so I can't complain too much about that. He just, he just pretty much finished where we are in the pecking order, realistically. But as we go back to the hub, the aerodynamic testing period again reopens. We will sort that out next episode. But for now, guys, hopefully you did enjoy the video. Do feel free to like and leave a comment. It really does help with your feedback and the algorithm thing. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss another video. I'm David Clayton of KZR Racing, and I will see you next time for round number 5 for the Miami Grand Prix. Goodbye.